I'm focused on those fans. And if the radio is going to get to those fans, cool. But if it's getting to people who are just going to talk about me, there's no point. It's cool, it's cool for people to talk about you, but the focus is for you to get my CD, listen to what I'm saying, the message, and grow out of it. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? So it's a cool thing that they are playing it on radio, but then what? Because every time I'm seeing tweets, Live FM is playing, you saw me. Live FM is Nukata. I wish every tweet I see, maybe one CD will go into my but you don't see it. I'm always getting notifications disturbing me whilst I'm trying to write. It's a good thing, but I'm telling you, I just need more than that.
Okay, so another question in addition to, does it worry you that quote unquote foreign companies support you guys more than the Ghanaian companies? So let's say, for example, you guys do a lot of show at Alliance Francaise. You have this company supporting, whereas the corporate bodies in Ghana are not willing to support you. Is it something that worries you, or you're like, let's just do what we have to do, and
it does. It worries me. I'm sad that my people are not listening to what I'm telling them, because we listen to Black Man Freedom, most of the songs on the tape is going to my people, and it's only the white people who are coming telling me, oh, we like your song, it's amazing, you're a treasure in Ghana, what, and then the Ghana people are not even listening to it. But when I did You Saw Me, they were listening because I said saw me, and saw me is like insult. So it saddens me that, but it's cool because some people are hearing saw me and they're using that to listen to the tape. So it's it's a gradual process. People will finally accept.
Last question. Do you think that there will be a time when mainstream won't be necessary because you have your fans on social media who support everything you do, so you wouldn't have to necessarily rely on mainstream media to support
what is mainstream, by the way, before I can answer?
Okay, so let's say radio, TV, then
which radio? Ghana's radio, because me
in Ghana,
you see, like I said, it's the same thing. Whether you're on Ghana TV, it's showbiz. You're on the TV, so what? You understand? It's cool, like if you are playing my thing on your TV and then you are giving me money, you are expecting me for what I'm doing, because it doesn't take. I don't use stones to go and record. You understand? And it's my work. I've sacrificed a lot. I've stopped painting. I've stopped everything, and I'm just focusing on the music. So I deserve to get some form of, you understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's all about the money, but of course I need the money. So whether it's mainstream or American stream, whatever stream it is, I need to see growth in the fan base and also in the Gulf stream. I need to see that growth in terms of the people who are listening to it, whether they are changing, whether they are becoming more hardcore fans, that they can even say, okay, I'm going to talk to more people about your music, because they are the people who are going to actually impact on other people to listen to your songs. You understand? But those TV stations, they need us, they need content for their airtime. You understand? Thank you.
Just a little addendum. Ghanaians love Worlasi's music. The way he has a show at Alliance was packed. I haven't been to a show in Alliance in a long time. I haven't seen that many people there. He's refreshing and he's doing his thing. So it's like, I always have this thing where it's like people are like, but why aren't you bigger? And then I'm like, okay, what are we talking about? Because every time I get bigger, you're always asking me, why am I not bigger? And he's saying, how does it add up? It's how it adds up. So when I see that many people there for him, and I've seen quote and unquote bigger acts that cannot pull as many people than him, then we have to ask who's really having the impact.
Then I must actually add to that at the end of the day, at this point I must say that guys in the media, when you're talking to musicians who actually take out time to write songs and make music, I think you should start making the conversation more about the art.
Yes.
About what were you thinking when you did this? What are you planning next on doing? As soon as you start to say the mainstream, we, you, us, them, we all know that's noise. We all know that's noise. We all know someone pays for the video, someone pays for everything. It happens in my country. People pay for tables, and then you do a 50 million naira gig, and nobody buys ticket to see it. So people bankroll that stuff. So when you're talking to the people who actually put in work, please, let's make the conversation about the work. Because as soon as you start saying, you should be bigger, it's quite disheartening. It's troubling, because the same thing happens in Nigeria. No matter how big I get, people still say, why can't you be bigger? Yeah, why can't you be bigger? You should be bigger. We want more noise. But when I embrace the noise, I lose the music. You know, so let's talk about the art so that, you know, for the sake of everybody.
Okay, which brings me to a question for you. Your MDS in 2013, I like to believe that it signified a shift in your philosophy. Can you tell us about it? Because now you're doing more interior music, in my opinion. You're doing more interior music, you're doing deeper stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the aim back then was I looked in front of me, and all of my older brothers were doing everything all of my younger brothers were doing. So I just felt like too many times as black people, as Africans, we don't act that age. So when you're 35, you're afraid that a 17-year-old boy will be hotter than you. So you try to sound like him. You try to make your sound go back. You try to make that club music, that party music, that commercial sound. But you're growing older. You have bills to pay. You have a family to raise. Tell us about your struggles. Tell us about the things you go through every day as an individual. There are millions of people who can connect with that. So that was what I decided to start doing from 2013, to tell my story as honestly as possible, as openly as possible. And believe me, it pays a great deal. You become a free man.
And I want to believe that it has nothing to do.
If every time I'm talking on radio, I can't be that kind of artist. Some people are better at it. Some people are better at that. My show business is being really good at the music and being able to articulate what I want to talk about in terms of my work. And also, other things. I can talk about architecture, but I think it's a combination of these reasons. That's why it's not because I have an aversion to the media. You know, for instance, we're having Manifestivities tomorrow. Imagine if I had to go to each one of you to do an interview. It would be difficult. So now, some very smart people, you know, shout outs to Obed and his people, are coming up with clever ways for us all to interact without with the time constraints and other things that, you know, exist. But Charlie, call us a day for
Here's a question for Worlasi. On 100%, you say normally some deep things, but right now with the move thing, with the ease thing. And then you go on and you record, you saw me.
Yeah, so that was the easing of
and therefore, I want to believe that because the reason we know you, but there's a way we have come to associate you with depth and philosophy and all those wisdoms.
Yeah.
Yes. Are you succumbing to the pressure of appeal?
What is succumbing?
Are you doing more? Are you going to do more of You Saw Me? Or it was just
no,
flash in the pan?
You never have You Saw Me on my album. It's not going to happen.
Yes.
So it's one of those things like you're having fun with music, you understand, and you're just easing out. So you do something once in a while, and I did that because from next year I don't think I'll be doing any more features because I'm tired of the features. Everybody wants a piece of, like, because it's a new voice, you understand, and I don't work under pressure. I take my time to write, and when they come, they're always like, you understand. So I don't. From next year, I'll be doing my own thing. So I wanted to do that You Saw Me and the Nukatas for people to have something to be shouting about, because I know that's what Ghanaians like, and as an artist, you have to be versatile. Understand? So yeah. So that's the easy, one of the easy things, like You Saw Me, as in You Saw Me.
Brian, what's happening tomorrow? What are you going to do tomorrow?
Tomorrow, summon demons. Tomorrow will be.
Are you doing it live?
I'm looking to have a great show. Oh yeah, we've been rehearsing.
Nice.
My voice is breaking apart, but that's the trick. You know, so tomorrow I'm looking to have a great time. This will be my first time at a major show in Ghana, aside from performing to maybe a group of students at the university. This is like proper. This is like really first time I'm coming to a concert in Ghana. Yeah, I think the first time was an award event.
Yes.
Yeah, so this doesn't happen all the time. So I'm looking to get in the spirit and take people with me. You know, basically.
And show them the key, definitely.
Yes, I bring the key. And hopefully I get to take some keys away.
An alternative to most of what's going on. But I think I also function as an alternative in the mainstream as opposed to an alternative to the mainstream. So one thing is for sure, a lot of people know and listen to me in Ghana. So it gets tricky because maybe the metrics you're now beginning to use is sort of if I have a song that plays 5 times every hour on radio, and that metric might be a false metric because probably more people spend time with my body of work than most other artists. That's how I feel. I feel like there are very few artists here that people spend time on their music, and I'm probably currently, I'm fortunate enough to be around that area. So it's a funny thing because Ghana is what gives me that push, so that if BBC comes and wants to do world beats, they'll come to me, not just because of my artistry, but because I also have credibility at home, you know. And so it's a tricky question because your metrics that you're measuring by is tricky. Like when I go and do a show at the universities, for instance, and these are sort of very important, I guess, market or audience because they are the most vocal everywhere, whether social media. It's quite something, you know. Sometimes it surprises me myself. I remember even when I was quiet and working on Nowhere Cool, we went to Rapport all week, and I was supposed to do a couple of songs. I ended up doing an hour, and these kids knew songs that I didn't expect. So that's why I put in when you have the guy when I go spot there for you know, because I was just like, yo, I'm not really active. I'm working on Nowhere Cool. I just put out 1 or 2 songs, but they really sit with the music. So I don't know if the premise of your question is true. Number one, I'm fortunate enough to be able to play in other places, partly because of even the reverberations from Ghana, and also because of just the credibility of the music I do. So if you see me in Geneva doing a show, I'm being booked not because I have hit songs over there, but because there are people over there who've heard and enjoy the artistry and believe that I can come with the band, do a 2-hour show and just kill it. So they'll pay for all of us to go. So we'll go and support it. So I'm fortunate enough because so that one is about the art and then the credibility of it. But I mean, do you want to talk numbers? Whether it's social media, I'm high up there in everything. You can't. It's hard to these metrics. If you want to use, let's say radio, then it gets tricky because I can count the number of songs I have there in rotation. But yesterday I was driving, I probably had like 3 Manifest songs I was driving, which is shocking to me. I don't know. But for me, that alone is fine. But the people who listen to the music, so I don't want us to bash out Ghanaian people for not supporting, because they do. And if it wasn't for them, I can't even have Manifestivities. People do. It's just that maybe we can actually start questioning the industry people who play a role. Maybe if you don't see me at so and so big shows, because maybe the people who control it don't have the same appreciation as the people do for my music, and maybe are not willing to pay for the same value of it. So maybe that's more the question, because these are the metrics people use. Oh, he came to do 2 songs on a stadium show, you know, but that's somebody calling you to come and do it, you know. So like Brymo said, it's kind of pre-arranged, you know. It's bankroll, you know. It's the game is rigged. So for me, I don't know if the premise of your question is true. You know, what I am trying to do is grow bigger everywhere, and coming back from I put out the album I've been waiting to put out my whole career. This for me is a rebirth. This is the beginning of my journey. It's either going to be the beginning or the end. Because like I said in the album, if this one doesn't work, I'm quitting. But I think it's been an incredible year because we spent 2 years working on an album, put out the album. There's been a lot of activity around it, and also, as all of you probably know, we discovered that there are more money fans than we all knew, and people have been very vocal about their support for me. So I think we never get a chance to. The only way in which, as artists, we can properly reward the support we get is to give off the gifts that we have. So for performing, if I sit down and say, Charlie, we have done the numbers and it's not looking great financially, then I'm not acknowledging the fact that people have supported so much and they will want to see a show at the end of the year, and they ask me every time, hey, this year Charlie Manifestivities, we put it off last year and I think the year before for similar reasons, but this year it would have been inexcusable for us to do that. And I think not everything is about money. you know. And when you have great support, you have to, more than giving people credit online, which I don't know if people still do it. I think you have to share the gifts, you know. So we're doing a show which is for the fans, by the fans, and I think I said online that it's the engine and the fuel for this is the fans who supported throughout the year and have even made it possible for us to dig deep into our pockets and try and do this.
The second question is go on.
Yeah.
You brought Nomi Superstar,
Yeah.
and then you brought Brymo. What are you trying to do with the African? What are you trying to achieve in the African situation? with your interactions with Brymo and Nomi Superstar, etc., etc.
I mean, the Noble Work Cool was a Pan-African affair, number one. And it was not to do with that, it was to do with excellence, people, artistic excellence. And everybody I sought after, I really enjoy their work, and I really believe they're creme de la creme of the continent, from the Worlasis to the Brymo. So Brymo and I's collaboration were one of the first few collaborations for the album, actually, and they actually set the tone. He's one of the artists that if his album comes on iTunes, I won't stream it before buying. I'll buy it before streaming. So no, it's true. I mean, it's true. I can show you. So I think since the album is a Pan-African affair, if my shows should reflect that. You know what I mean? And as much as our music is based on a lot of times, you collaborate with this person for so and so business reasons. I think the best business reason for collaboration is great art. And then we have to bring that into the performance field. I mean, I would have loved to have had Brymo here for the release, but you know, we're always looking at constraints, you know, and we are always going to hurdle those. And if we hurdle it through this time where it's that we're building, we'll get to the point in which probably all three of us might be on a tour together, you know, and we'll be going to every country. Nomi can join us, you know, Sina can join. Can you imagine a tour with you know, you have Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, maybe we'll go and get somebody from Kenya in the mix, maybe Congo, you know, and it'll be amazing. And so it's not, it's an organic thing because of how the album itself happened. But I think you might want to ask him how he feels about
Brymo, this is your first collaboration in like 3 years. Yeah. Why would you collaborate? Why would you choose Manifest?
I mean, just.
Or why would you choose to be on a project with Manifest? Because since you left Chopping City, you have been a recluse in many ways. You'd be on yourself, by yourself. You wouldn't collaborate a lot, and most of the projects you do by yourself. So why would you jump on the thing with Manifest?
Yeah, I think it's just a flow of work of music. But I can tell you precisely that as at the time, sometime in January last year, I was watching TV with my woman, and she saw a video on Manifest, and she was like, "I like this guy." the way he dresses, he's so African, he's so original, and I like that too, you know. Because we live in a generation where it's really easy to lose yourself. Look at me, I'm wearing my sneakers and jeans and shirt. And well, I try also to make sure my music comes back home and has its roots in my local language, is Yoruba, and of course the Africanness in it has to show. So when I liked that about Manifest, and we had a conversation, and it wasn't up to 3 months after, and we got a call from his management saying, you know, we would like to hook up. So the next time I'm in Ghana, we need to see. And then, it happened. So I feel like at that point in time, I was considering to do at least one collaboration to get people off my back, saying, you don't collaborate. So I wanted to do just one at least to, you know, to get back in that. So, and then it happened to Manifest.
I imagine that anybody else can have a question.
I have 2 questions on the No Work Cool album.
Okay.
I want to know how far things have gone with it. If you are cool with the sales or not. And then the second thing is, I hardly hear people play songs of the album.
Really?
Yeah, or maybe let me put it this way: like I've not heard maybe a particular song that is maybe a hit song
You're hearing different songs played.
Yeah.
You're not hearing one song.
Yeah.
Well, I think first question is how has the album done? I think it's done well. The lifespan of an album that you put in such work is actually longer. We're now putting out videos, etc. And so it's actually longer. And as you notice, we don't have any kind of sales infrastructure. Is there a CD shop still in Ghana?
15 Ghana.
So we actually created a sales infrastructure, 15ghana.com, where people could order with mobile money. It was something new and it worked. You saw people putting up 8 regions, people from 8 regions out of the 10 ordered, and we actually initially intended to only ship to 3 regions. So for us, that is even one success story in the first place. And of course, it's the diaspora who manages to patronize the thing digitally more. And now we're still moving with Nowhere Cool. Nowhere Cool's shelf life is not even close. It's just begun. And Nowhere Cool just started crawling. But its crawling looks like walking or even running. So as we are going along 2017, I think you even see an amplification of Nowhere Cool impact. I mean, every day that I wake up and I go to social media or any of these things, people are talking about Nowhere Cool like it was released yesterday. You know, the different songs and they are discovering and all that. So we make music in that light where it has a longer shelf life. So Nowhere Cool is definitely doing fine and it's on to greatness. It's my best album by far. I don't even have to worry about it. You know, I define it on.
There's a question.
So my question is, do you think that you finally have the acclaim that you deserve for what you've done over the period? In Ghana, that is.
The acclaim. If you acclaim, a good job. You know, this is a question that with artists like myself, I mean, potentially with all 3 artists here, you probably always see that people who like what we do are very vocal about saying we deserve more acclaim, right? I think it's always tricky when you ask it to me because I am not the one who worries about that. I worry about making the music and more people loving it and being able to be successful with it and it's going further. In terms of where my visions of where the music should go, we have not scratched the surface. You know, popularity in Ghana is cheap. It's easy. It's popular. I'm sorry to say. So it's never been my goal. If that's what acclaim is, awards, that cannot be my worry. So I don't know. I definitely I've enjoyed a lot more. I guess we used to struggle to be part of the conversation, and I became the conversation. So in that sense, there's been a balance shift in certain things, but that really for us does not signify arriving anywhere. The journey is much longer.
I have a question for. I want to know whether there's a project in the world between you and Worlasi, and I would like Worlasi to address that. Because I mean, Worlasi is among the most featured acts on the record. Then you have a video for 100%. So of course they raise certain suspicions. So Mr. Lagani.
Tell the truth and shame the devil.
Yes, we are working on a joint still.
So can we have more details?
No.
Is there an album? Is this an album? Is it a mixtape?
We don't even know what we are doing now. We are just working. Anything that flows, we work with it. You can't structure art before you start working on art. It happens in the moment. So yeah, that's what we are working on right now. When it comes, and probably we'll not even have the title. When you listen to it, you use the title.